Hey there, I'm Teri Thomas, and welcome to Teri's Next Chapter. This is a Next Chapter Conversations video, and I'm talking with my amazing, one of my bestie friends, Gina, today. And I'm so excited to hear from her and connect from her and let you hear from her. So I just want to dive in right away and just start talking with Gina. Hey, Gina.
Teri, thanks for having me.
Oh gosh, I've been looking forward to this because we have had such a nice long friendship and connection that it's always so good to connect with you anyway. So people now just get to watch if they want. So I remember meeting Gina years ago when we both worked at the same basically yoga studio, I would say. I guess that's what it was. Yeah. And you were teaching workshops in yoga and leading classes, and I was doing some coaching workshops, and we just connected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we met in November of 2010.
You actually remember that?
I do. Well,
Wow.
because I remember that the yoga studio had just opened or was about to, and the owner wanted everyone who was going to be working there to meet each other
Yes.
and hosted a little evening. And everyone is great. I remember a few of the other people a little bit, but you're
Yeah, I
really,
maybe remember one or two.
you're the only person who I really connected with and have remained friends with. And you also were one of my first massage clients.
I was? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Because I hadn't even gone
Wow.
to, I had only just started. Oh no, I hadn't even gone to massage school yet when we met. I didn't start massage school until September 2011,
Mm,
and then started also renting one of the rooms that you were renting for coaching there. And
yes. Wow. Well, I remember what I first wanted to do was the Thai
yeah.
massage, which I didn't know much about, but I was so excited to get to experience it. And you do shiatsu. You are my hands down favorite massage therapist ever. So I can't believe that you hadn't been. So you were amazing from the jump.
So I did my in New York State and many states, you obviously cannot call yourself a massage therapist unless you have gone to massage school and taken the state licensing board. So
Got it.
I had already gone to Thai massage training in May of 2010, but the name of that training and what I was allowed to refer to myself as is Thai yoga therapy or Thai yoga
Oh,
therapist. And it's a legally blurry space because as a yoga teacher you are insured. You're not a licensed professional, you're certified, and you have liability insurance, and you are allowed to touch your students with consent, of course,
always.
in the
Yes.
space of education, of teaching.
Oh,
So the Thai yoga therapy training and certification, it's you're working within the framework of I'm allowed to give my yoga students like corrections or adjustments or support, but it's really a blurry line because you're very obviously giving someone a massage.
it's very hands on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Well, I guess it makes total sense. It's just that I never really thought about it. But yeah, that makes total sense. But you were amazing. If you, even though it sounds like you had just been trained, though. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's definitely a natural part of who I am. And something I'm sure we'll get to talking about is my career now in acupuncture is still very based in massage. And I would be happy to talk about that at length. Or
I
in one.
mean, I'm super excited because you're coming back to my area.
Yeah.
So Gina and I have been roommates in the past, and then she sadly left me for a few years to do her current training of what she's doing now. So I don't know if you want to talk anything about that or
Yeah, I would love to talk about living with you and then um, going to acupuncture school. So I lived with Teri and her daughters for my final 6-ish months in the Capital District between the end of a lease and leaving for acupuncture school. And
Capital District, New York State. Just
yeah.
saying. I don't know what other states use that term.
So I'm so thrilled that Teri is doing this YouTube channel based on books because she doesn't remember this. We just talked about it before we started recording. But when I lived
Behind the scenes
with
info.
behind the scenes info, when I lived with Teri, I was obsessed with her bookshelf. And even though I had a career and already had gotten into school and was about to leave for school for my next now current career, I still had this sense of lostness and always trying to come up with some career idea. And one of which was doing a YouTube channel or podcast or something called Teri's Bookshelf and going
Oh,
through every book on her bookshelf. I was like, this would be a life's work. It would
I
take
think that was more my nonfiction books too, right?
it was
Really?
the big bookshelf in the living room. It was all your books. So I'm glad that I didn't have to do it and that now Teri is actually doing it.
That's so funny. I love that. And then, though, you sadly left me,
And
but for a very good reason.
yeah, I went to acupuncture school. I actually am wearing the t-shirt of the first
Ooh,
acupuncture school that I went to, Pacific College of Health and Science.
okay.
Went to San Diego, California in January 2020. We all know what happened after that. So I
Yes.
actually was only there for one semester, and I had honestly already sort of known that I was going to transfer to the school that I'm at now because I had one of the final things that I did in upstate New York before leaving for school was sit in a women's medicine circle. And the person who was next to me had a scarf covered in gemstones. And
Oh,
I started talking to her about her stones because why not? And
exactly.
she's a nurse, she's an RN in Philly, and she started telling me about stone medicine, which is not something I had ever heard of before. And she started telling me about the teacher who she studies stone medicine with, Jeffrey Yuen, and was asking her questions about how I can learn from him and learn stone medicine. And then she mentioned the school here, and that was the third time that the universe told me about this school.
Mm.
So I listen.
Gotta listen to those promptings.
I listen. So I already kind of knew that I was going to end up here, but was enrolled in, had already paid my tuition for
Mhm.
school in San Diego. And I'm glad that I went there because I have a lot of earth placements in my chart, and nonetheless, I am a very transient person. So I've lived in a lot of different places, and what I understand to have been the purpose of me living in San Diego and going to school there for one semester was to scoop up some really important people in my life
Oh.
and get a few more sisters in the mix. And
Always good to have sisters. Love
that
my sisters.
it's the only thing that matters in
Mm,
this crazy world.
mm. You're not lying. I love it. Yeah.
It's the
Sisterhood
foundation.
is literally the foundation of everything.
It's the foundation. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing else. I was just talking to a friend about this yesterday who's having a friendship turbulence with her best friend, and we're talking about the fact that they need to talk about it, and she's nervous about it, but she said it's lower stakes because it's one of my girlfriends and it's not a male romantic partner.
Mm.
And I was like, I can't think of higher stakes than having a best friendship on the line. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Because
my,
that's what lasts in general.
yeah,
Yeah. At least in my experience.
in my experience, yeah, that's my orientation to fundamental existence is my friendships with my girlfriends. There's, yeah, it's it.
Yeah. And I'm super blessed because I have a lot of great women in my family too. So I have my family that I've created through friendship, but I also have, my cousin who's like my sister, and then my daughters who are like so such rocks for me. So yeah, I'm super blessed with so much feminine in my life,
You have
overflowing.
an incredible family, incredible women in your family. I love your daughters, and I've only met your cousin a few times, but she's a gem.
Yeah, I could go on. I'm not gonna because this is your time, but I could go on about that. Yes. So, do you want to talk about where you are then?
Yeah, so I'm currently in Asheville, North Carolina. I
The
graduated.
Mecca of the East Coast.
Yeah, Sedona of the East.
Yes, I don't East. That's what I mean.
So I came to the school here. I started in August of 2021. And there's many reasons that I ended up at this school other than the stone medicine nurse. So this is a classical Chinese medicine school. Did I already say Taoist traditions? I think I did.
I don't think you have yet.
Taoist Traditions College of Chinese Medical Arts, which I also love because it is the only acupuncture school in the country that isn't School of Chinese Medicine, but is College of Chinese Medical Arts.
Oh.
And just understanding that this medicine is truly an art, and that it's not like Western or pharmaceutical medicine where there's a prescription.
Mm.
And even though there are treatment protocols in traditional and classical Chinese medicine, it is very rooted in the cultivation of the practitioner, and what what you engage with and what you witness in your patient, and it's very tailored to
Mm.
the individual, and it's very creative. And I think that in order for us to experience healing in any realm of our lives, whether it's medicine or otherwise, that there needs to be a creative component in order for the spirit to expand enough and to be filled enough
Mm.
with that magic to actually change. So,
Yeah, it's like creating that whole space for that.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, graduated in the
I
end of
love that.
May, spent June studying for my board exams and recovering from having just been in school. And I was
Love
also,
this. A lot of
yeah,
recovery time.
a lot of recovery time. I was
Oh.
also going through a breakup at the time. I separated from a partner who I was cohabitating with in the end of February and spent the final March, April, May. I spent the final 3 months of my master's program, like living in Airbnbs.
Oh my God, I can't
So
even imagine that. Well, and not to mention, like, that's an emotional time on
yeah,
top of it.
it was
So
really
the
intense.
pressure, like, I've done grad programs in the past too, and that's a lot of work, and it's just a lot of so much focus. So I can't even imagine to be going through those two things at the same exact time
It
and
was
not rooted in a home like
it
this.
was crazy. It was really,
Yeah.
it was nuts. And I
Wow.
just like I understand that it was part of my curriculum. So here, this is a Taoist school,
Big curriculum.
Taoist
Capital C.
alchemical,
Yeah.
capital C curriculum. And that's another
Yeah.
reason that I ended up at this school is because of the personal transformation that I don't want to say that they promise you or that they warn you of, but somewhere in between.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay.
when you're getting vetted to go to this school, they're like, do you understand that you will be a completely different, an unrecognizably different person on the other side of this?
Wow.
And are you willing to go through massive personal transformation and commit completely to your personal cultivation as an individual and a practitioner?
Oh my.
So,
Wow.
a little intense, but
That,
then
wow.
part of what we learn here, one of the classical channel systems that we learn, and that is my calling and will be the bulk of my offerings in acupuncture, are it's called the 8 extraordinary vessels. And this these treatments work specifically with our inner reservoirs. So if you know a little bit about acupuncture, you might know that there's meridians or channels, and that there's acupuncture points, and the points are along the channels. So we like to explain that as these are the rivers. These are the
Mm,
rivers that allow the energy to move through your body, that allow the blood, the oxygen, the energy to move through your body and be accessible to you as a human functioning in the world.
mm,
And then the extraordinary vessels are our genetic vessels. It's our DNA. It fills this space between DNA and soul contract. So things get pretty
it's a lot.
interesting there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the reservoirs feed the rivers. And if there's chronic and deep dysfunction in the primary channels or in our external lives, and we've tried all the things, we've worked with the primary channels, we've done our personal work, therapy, other medicine, whatever, and we're still not seeing a change, or we're still feeling like there's deeper work to be done, that's when we go to the reservoirs. And the first channel in this series of 8 is the one that awakens you to your blueprint, aka your curriculum. So
Capital C curriculum.
capital C curriculum. So being in this school, we also, as students, we're going to student clinic and getting treatments from the 3rd and 4th year students. So we end up getting these Chiang Mai treatments and like having the blueprint. It's not like you necessarily consciously wake up to what your blueprint is, but it is that your blueprint is activated in you. And
Wow.
then things start moving really quickly.
Wow.
So one of a lot of people who go to this school end up working with the extraordinary vessels, and some people don't, but it was my favorite class. And I was sitting in the front row transcribing every word that that teacher said in that class. I had a really hard time focusing in school. got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 40 at the beginning of my third year of school. I'm
Oh
42
my.
now. It was really hard for me to focus. And that class, I just was hanging on every word. And
Well, part of ADHD is hyper focus on the things that you're really
yeah,
interested in. So that makes total sense.
yeah, it changed my
Yeah.
life. It changed my life.
Wow.
So it's a big calling for me to help people in that way, and for people who are ready and willing to get like recalibrated to their blueprint and have that be activated in their lives. That is a huge passion of mine, and I'm so excited to be able to offer that in a multitude of different ways. Currently, this medicine is, I would say, kind of trapped in esoterica, trapped in boutique medicine, and not accessible to.
When you use the word medicine, can you explain how you're using it? When you say that, this medicine, what do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm talking about classical Chinese medicine, and
Okay.
specifically the extraordinary vessels.
Okay.
It's so important. It couldn't be more important, especially for where we are at in human history right now. I see what's going on as a really collective experience of not being locked into our blueprints and not being
Mm.
aligned, not being calibrated with our capital C curriculum, and sort of what a lot of folks have been talking about for the past half decade plus of the Great Awakening and the schism between folks who are choosing to stay asleep and folks who are trying to wake up. And it's difficult. You can want to be awake and be like trying to like kind of claw your eyes open, but because we are so subdued, societally subdued by technology and other things, other distractions, it's
Mm.
really hard to do waking up correctly. And there's also no correct way to do it. Like everyone's experience is going to be different, and I see people
Yeah.
trying really hard and falling into other traps along the way. So I think it couldn't be more important right now to help people who want to activate their blueprint and awaken to their curriculum to be able to do that. And it's very difficult to find practitioners who do this. I was talking to one of my friends about it. She lives in New York City. Seems like there should be some options there. And
Pretty big city.
yeah,
A lot of stuff there.
a lot of stuff. Some say perhaps the center of the universe. I don't know. Seems like there
Some
should.
people might, no, I don't know if everybody thinks that, but maybe we do as New Yorkers.
So I get to Googling, I send a email to the practitioner network from my school and come back with one male practitioner who is offering extraordinary vessel treatments in New York City.
Well, I've literally never heard of it, but I'm not into Eastern or
But
Chinese medicine the way you are either.
but that's also part of the accessibility component, is that when people think of acupuncture, they don't think of this.
No.
It's not accept the conversation isn't accessible because it hasn't been made accessible, because there is still there's so many factors keeping Chinese medicine underground, racism being only one of them. And also the internalized racism of practitioners who still kind of want to keep their practice a secret and
Mm.
to protect the medicine in that way. And that's just not how I see what, or I'm sure I'm naive because I've just graduated, but I don't understand what the point of having a system of medicine that can really help people, what the point of having that even is if it's not accessible to the people.
Mhm. Is it something that's more accessible where it's practiced more? Is it something that in other countries it's more accessible? Is it primarily in here in the US or Western culture that it's not? Or is it even like kind of not as accessible in other places too?
Yeah, I think it's super duper esoteric and also not standard in China or anywhere else. So there there used to be 4 classical Chinese medicine schools in the United States, and something that's happening right now that a lot of people who are not in Chinese medicine are not aware of is that acupuncture schools are closing left and right now
Oh,
for various reasons. And there's dozens of Chinese medicine schools in the country, acupuncture schools. I'm not totally sure how many, but there's a lot. And there were 4 classical Chinese medicine schools, oddly, 2 in Portland, Oregon, and 2 here in the Asheville area. One of the schools in Portland closed last year. So there's only 3 classical schools.
okay.
And this school here that I went to is an oral lineage, a family lineage school. So Jeffrey Yuen, who the nurse with the stone medicine told me about, he did not go to acupuncture school. He is a family lineage acupuncturist. He learned acupuncture from
Oh,
Chinese.
wow.
He learned acupuncture from his grandfather,
Wow.
starting when he was 5 years old.
Wow. So
So
the same person that this stone
yeah, the
person,
stone
the
lady.
person with the lady, I don't know his name, but who she told you about is the person you ended up studying with or under.
So our school was founded based on his teachings,
Okay.
and he teaches here like 2 or 3 times a semester. He's not here teaching a class all semester long, but every single one of our teachers has studied intimately with him, and he's
Okay.
here modularly each semester. So this is how rare this medicine is. And I
Wow.
believe that the other school here is also from his lineage. And then the remaining school in Portland was born out of the founder of that school, who is German, studying in China and bringing back classical Chinese medicine mainly through classical herbalism more so than, I mean, he still practices and teaches the needling and the 8 extras and the other classical channel systems, but he's a quite well mostly known for herbal medicine.
Okay. So
So
that's just more the focus.
yeah, so it's rare. It's not accessible even to acupuncture students in the United States to even learn about this. Like, I
Wow.
wouldn't have landed here if it weren't for the stone medicine nurse in the medicine circle.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know that I needed to have this part of my curriculum awoken inside of me to be working with these channel systems rather than the primary channel systems.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. Oh, the
Yeah.
other thing I wanted
No. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
share. So that's the
And we're
snapshot.
going to be so lucky to have it here.
Yes, I agree. And actually, my friend Leah Rayner, also an acupuncturist in Albany, New York, went to the school that closed in Portland. So she is also a classical practitioner. And
Wow.
we had been working together at Repose Wellness in Albany. And I was just up her butt all the time, asking her a million questions, taking all of her book recommendations. And she really pushed me to finally go to acupuncture school, which is something I had wanted to do since day one of shiatsu class in massage school in 2011, because that class was taught in tandem with an Eastern pathology class, which was taught by an acupuncturist. And in his first lecture, I was like, I'm gonna do that. So
You felt the resonance immediately.
yeah, it took a long time to finally do it. Like I was in massage school 2011, 2012, and I didn't start visiting acupuncture schools until summer 2019. I didn't enroll until January 2020. So it took a while for me to get there, but I got there. But the other important historical thing for people to know about traditional versus classical Chinese medicine, and like the average acupuncturist who you're going to go see is a TCM practitioner, traditional Chinese medicine. So during the time of Mao in China and the Cultural Revolution, they wanted to eradicate acupuncture and herbal medicine, village medicine, family lineage medicine, because it was too antiquated. And I'm like not thinking of the right word. I want to say lo-fi, but can you help
But
me think of the word I'm trying
like basic or something, like not
to
uh
well,
what would the word be? I think I know what you're getting
know
at.
what I'm trying to say. I'm sure there's people out there watching who know what we're trying to say. So un I don't know.
Like uncultured or like
Cultured, yeah. So they wanted to
some of the best stuff in the world,
some of the best stuff
actually.
in the world
Yeah.
completely get rid of
Uncivilized?
uncivilized. Thank
That's the word we're going for.
and
Okay.
like not up to snuff with Western medicine. So the Chinese government at that time wanted to eradicate all of this ancient lineage and have all of the doctors in China only be Western medicine doctors. And there was a huge outcry, activism, protests, and acupuncture and herbs was allowed to stay, but only in this very watered down, systematized, simplified science
Okay.
protocols, called traditional Chinese medicine, which is also unfortunately a misnomer, because all that family lineage, all that village medicine, those are the traditions. So
Mm,
it's weird to have to be like, traditional is this kind of modern, systematized, watered down version of the medicine, and classical is some supposed interpretation of the actual lineage medicine. And it's not that TCM doesn't have lineage medicine in it, obviously. Like
and
there,
I'm sure it's good stuff too.
it's
Right.
incredible.
And very helpful for
It's
people.
incredible
You're
medicine.
not slamming it in any way. You're just saying it's a different. You're just,
It's different. And
yeah.
I had no clue until I landed at this school and learned all that stuff. So
Yeah.
even point being that even in China, when you're looking for an acupuncturist, so much has been distorted and lost through the past many decades because of that systemization
Mm.
of the medicine.
And a person could tell because the letters after someone's name, basically. It'll say TCM or not
Oh,
even necessarily.
no. Yeah. Just, I don't know. That's a great question. And um, I don't know how to answer
Because there probably isn't an answer right now. It doesn't sound like.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
The letters after my name are the same as
Okay.
everybody else who goes to all the other acupuncture schools.
Okay.
Hey there. So I cut this video into here because Gina and I love each other so much, and we talk and talk and talk. And an interview is going to go long, so I broke this up into two different videos. And next week on the YouTube channel, on Teri's Next Chapter, right here, I will show you part 2. So thanks for joining us for this one, and I'll see you on the next vid.
Oh, hi. My sidekick actually has something to say.